Well, listen, thank you everyone for joining. Isn't this interesting? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna take the time to introduce each and every one of you. So the purpose of this panel is to let the world know that real estate is alive and well, and that we're talking to some top realtors and just getting their feedback on what COVID-19 and how they're managing their business and protecting everyone here. My name is Kathy Sabeda. I'm a mortgage planner and proud veteran. So I'm going to go around and each person will introduce themselves, and then I'll ask some questions and we'll go around so that we can get feedback from everyone. Patricia?
I'm Patricia Henderson. My farm is in Los Angeles County. I'm with All Stars Realty, where problem solving is what we do.
Great. Wow. Debbie Avey?
My name is Debbie Avey, and I'm the broker owner here at Staged Homes Real Estate. We are a family-owned and operated brokerage firm where we offer free professional home staging.
Jason?
Hi, I'm Jason Kardos, real estate broker with Mount Helix Lifestyles Real Estate and in San Diego County. And yeah, I help people buy and sell residential, commercial buildings. I also do, I have my own vacation rentals, and I don't do full-time property management. People rent out their home or keep up on the latest laws with that.
Okay, great. And Manuel?
Hey, my name is Manuel Sanchez. I'm a real estate agent here at Compass, and my main focus is mostly Chula Vista.
Okay, great. Well, I'm gonna start the question with Ms. Patricia. Patricia, why are realtors still out there when we're in the stay home state of mind?
We are out there because we are prepared to be out there. You know, just in March, the federal government, Homeland Security, designated real estate industry as an essential service, which means we are the heartbeat of the economy. It's important that we are out there working so everything keeps going. You know, we have been preparing for this moment for a long time. Our technology is in place. We show our homes virtually. All of our transactions are done electronically. We know how to work and still be safe.
Well, thank you, Patricia. Anybody want to chime in on that?
No, I agree with you, Patricia. I think that we are lucky in this industry that I think above all other industries, are online. And real estate has become primarily an online resource. 97% of buyers go online first before the COVID-19. So we understood that long ago that we needed to adapt our businesses for the online market. So we are ready and we are prepared. And that was one of the reasons we started the free home staging, is because we knew that the online presence was the most important presence we can have. Tie that in with everything electronically and we are good to go and safe.
Fabulous. Manuel, what's your opinion on the market right now? What's your opinion on that?
Well, I mean, it's when it comes to times like these, I mean, it's tricky, right? We're in a situation that especially for real estate, it changes by the hour. The best piece of advice that I'm giving to clients right now is really to stay calm. We are still seeing like movement when it comes to home sales and listings coming to market, and especially here in Chula Vista, on certain properties, because the inventory is so low, we're seeing even multiple offers on a few properties. So obviously every neighborhood in San Diego is different. And everyone is scared right now. Everyone is reacting, and they either want to take their home off the market, get out of the deal, or put their home search on hold. And to be honest, that's okay, right? That's really what I'm telling my clients. I've been building a as soon as this passes kind of plan where once we're free and we're free out of our homes, we can go back to business as usual.
Okay, Jason, would you like to pipe in on that?
Yeah. So I just listed a townhome over the weekend, and I got an offer right away. Another one's coming in now. And actually right now I'm looking at the drone footage. I just did the Matterport, which is a name brand 360 video tour. So the local MLS is relaxing the virtual tour links. So I put that in, and that way people can walk the home. Today I just had a final walkthrough on an 800,000 home in North Park. And so that one's going well. The buyer's agent, you know, wearing masks and in the windows. So we have, you know, 2 new buyer's forms. And not to say I'm not taking it seriously, but that buyer's agent taking it very seriously. But just to show closing a home and then listing one the last couple of days and already getting multiple offers. And I, through what Dave said, putting up the virtual tour links and our DocuSign, we can sign everything electronically. I think Patricia was talking about that. And I know for my business too, the last couple of years, I've kind of moved to Dropbox and put everything online and with my photo. And yeah, I think we're pretty prepared for this, our industry.
Great. Debbie, as far as the, I know you've also closed a couple of transactions via COVID as well. What about that COVID addendum? How are you using that?
Well, you know, there's 4 addendums actually right now. There's in each of the addendums all have a little bit of a different twist on it depending on the circumstances. But because, you know, real estate is considered an essential business, it's our responsibility to make sure that we're also protected by contract, right? For both buyers and sellers and, you know, contractors and inspectors and appraisers going through properties. How do we protect sellers and buyers? So basically, I'm just going to very quickly run through just a couple of the disclosures that we have. The most important one is the Coronavirus Property Entry Advisory and Declaration. And that one is mandatory, meaning that every client needs to have that before entering a property. Not only the seller, the buyer, but anybody. That could be the contractor, the appraiser. They need to sign this form because, one, it limits the liability. It makes everybody aware of, even though real estate is an essential business, we all still are required by law to take certain precautions for the safety of everybody involved. And we need to be aware of what those safety precautions are. So I think it's good. It's good for us to make sure when we're working with other agents and buyers showing property, like we've been showing property, you know, every day for the last several days, which has been really surprising. And of course, based on the rules and regulations and for the safety of everybody, we're wearing masks, gloves, and booties, and, you know, wiping down, you know, the surfaces, no surfaces being touched, staying at a safe 6 feet distance apart. Only 3 people allowed in an open house at a time. We are accompanying our buyers agents through the open house so that we make sure that when they leave, everything's discarded and we wipe down again so that the seller can enter the property and feel comfortable, especially sellers. Like we have one that has diabetes. So we have to be really careful in those situations, and we're even spraying it. So these addendums are for that reason. Make you aware, let you know what you need to do, and follow the guidelines to protect the risk.
Okay, and I'm assuming everybody else is using them as well?
Yes.
Any feedback on that?
Well,
nope.
They just came out a day or they've been trickling out. But yeah, I had one agent sign it. I guess that form you're talking about, Dave, it looked like it only had for our side, but then signed it for the seller side. I didn't see like a buyer, but that's good too. The other comment is the home inspectors. And I think we've been getting a lot of emails. They said they'll still do home inspections, but no one can be there. Well, you said up to 3 people, but I think the home inspectors are preferring no one's there while they're there. So that's another thing. And then I think I told Kathy, I have a 2-unit sale and the tenants aren't letting us in. And we just when the appraisal was going to come, it's a Fannie Mae Freddie Mac loan, which maybe Kathy knows about, but supposedly they let their appraiser do a drive-by only. And I'm wondering today, it sounds like Freddie Mae and Fannie Mac will allow it if the appraiser is comfortable, and then if the lender's underwriter accepts it, then hopefully everything's okay. So I'm going to, I don't know if I'm the first one doing it, but this is going to be the first one. If a appraisal works, can keep the transaction.
Well, and that's interesting.
And I heard, and I heard what Debbie said about in the home. Right. The other townhome I listed was vacant. So, I mean, you still have a lot of protocol, but luckily that one, there's not people living full time in there. But I could see that's an extra stressor if you're living in the home and having random people come in your home.
Right, and they don't even want the sellers there, and we're at stay at home, so they have to leave their home. It was there for an hour and 20 minutes, the buyers, because they were very interested. They wanted to stay and walk the property, so the client had to be gone for nearly 2 hours.
Wow.
And so that's the interesting thing, as Patricia had mentioned, you know, we've had a lot of this technology, and now that we're in this world that we're staying home and working, our perspective on life is changes, right? Just like our we appreciate things a little bit more. So now you know you got a virtual tour. Now you're going to use it, right? You paid for it, but now people can actually access it and do what they need to do. The Fannie Mae's, the Freddie Macs of the world, they too, these geniuses, are working and streamlining to make sure that that there are enough appraisers out there to get things done, and that they do agree with, hey, based on the property, do I really need to jeopardize someone's life, especially for refinances, refinance cash out, right? We can get a lot of things done if I can see what I have to see. And you're right, based on protecting everybody, what they're telling everyone, and to include notary, because remember, notary has to go out there and they have to sign loan documents.
Yeah.
So they have a protocol for that as well. So it's wonderful to hear that the reason why you guys are here is because you guys are doing business. Because I'm sure there's a lot of realtors out there saying something else, if you hear what I'm getting. And that's why you were invited, because I knew I would love your takeaway. So one other question for you is, now that we are in this stay home, I hear what everybody's saying in regards to, but how are you changing in regards to your communication with your family? Because some people are actually can't have anybody in their home. How are you handling that, Ms. Patricia?
Well, I'm just making sure that we are cognizant of how to keep everyone safe. And I have to explain it to everyone. You know, these are the basic rules that we're following. It's important. Making sure that anyone who comes into the home is equipped with a mask and gloves and booties, and we're not touching anything. These are basic facts. And like Debbie was saying, make sure that the client is not there. We don't want to harm the client, and we're taking care of all of these basic issues ourselves.
Okay. And so like for me, I've been doing a lot of videos for quite some time. Debbie and I used to do this 2 years ago, but we were a little ahead of our time. So now it's like, wow, this is really the place to be. So I'm used to talking to myself like, hey, so it's wonderful to share this information with you. So I'm glad, because now I can actually communicate with someone. I'm actually having a conversation with some great realtors here in San Diego, and Patricia's out in Los Angeles. So what I do a little differently as far as communication is concerned, I think I just do more videos. And I'm waiting for feedback to understand what can I do, because how do you compress so much information in 2 to 4 minutes? Manuel, what are you doing or feeling a little different based on what's happening, because you've been streamlining anyway?
Well, I've been definitely doing a lot more videos, YouTube, but it's really just staying in communication with a client. But at the same time, we have, at least I have to remind myself that in times of uncertainty, people need to feel comfortable. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes hard for clients to see past their fears. So I'm just calling them, making sure they're okay. Not so much talking, maybe sometimes even just like, hey, how's your family? If you guys need anything, type of thing. And I think right now we're at a point where technology is our friend, and where, you know, everyone like a year ago, it's like, oh man, we have to get rid of technology and go outside. Now it's kind of like the opposite. So I'm definitely taking advantage of that, and doing a lot more video and podcasting and just getting the word out there one way or the other.
Okay. Debbie?
Well, one of the first things I did, and I'm so excited that I did it and I love it, is a virtual business card. Because on the virtual business card, I have videos. I have over I think 200 videos now from when you and I did videos together. And I'm like you, Kathy. I'm offering education to my clients. I want them to see me. I want to be able to dialogue with them. So the virtual business card does it. They can go to my links. I have blogs that are updated daily on the COVID-19, how it's affecting real estate, how it's affecting finance. All you have to do is save the virtual business card to your home screen. And I've got like 5 tabs, including about our free staging, including about finance and how to qualify for a loan. So nobody even has to touch my business card anymore. Just give me your phone number and I'm going to send you my virtual business card. So that's the one thing that I think is becoming real valuable, because that becomes your website on the phone, right? Your own mobile app.
You got it. Jason?
Yeah, I guess in the database email, I email clients, but I haven't really email and call them, but I haven't done much of the emailing. And so I've been working on that recently, and having links to my website, pages on my website, which I I guess I tell people one-on-one this information. I keep telling them. So the last couple of weeks, I've been realizing using this time to put that on the web, or kind of like Debbie's virtual business card.
Right.
Instead of redoing it all the time, I'm trying to organize it and streamline it. So
Okay.
I guess that would be the biggest thing with me. So.
Yes, Patricia?
And I found that I heard someone else say, just by calling my former clients and just checking in. And if you need me, if you're having issues with making ends meet, I'd be happy to give you a card, a grocery gift card, anything that I can do to help. They just want, and they're very appreciative just to hear from me, just to hear a warm voice that they're familiar with. So, there are lots of things that we can do just to make the time pass and make us a visible source of information.
So let me ask you this question in regards, because forbearance versus foreclosure, right? Who wants to take that question first? Me?
Yes, you.
You want me to take it first?
Yes.
Yeah, everybody say yes. Kathy, go first. You want
Yes, Kathy.
All righty. I want to make sure, because I'm always talking, so try not to be. So the biggest thing is the misconception on the forbearance. When the information came out, everybody just assumed that they can just go for forbearance and that's it. But it's similar to getting a credit card, no payment for 90 days. So if you don't get, if you charge your card up for $5,000, 90 days from today, you got to make a payment. So the same thing is the case with the forbearance. So the interesting thing is, like, 50% of homeowners own they have 50% of equity in their home, which is totally different from whatever year. I'm going to let you guys talk about that. Totally different from when we had a different market. So how is that going to relate to foreclosures? Well, the banks don't want the homes. So the goal is you have to qualify for this forbearance. Once we get over this and people get back to work, then those individuals who do qualify, right, will either have to pay it then, or they're going to give them an extension. The way it works, it is a temporary, right? You still have to make the mortgage payment. So it's just like if I charge $5,000 on a credit card and the vendor is waiting to get paid, the credit card already paid that vendor. So who's going to pay that credit card person when they've already made that payment to the vendor? And that's the same thing that's happening with this forbearance. And that's why the banks are slowing down some of the loans, right? Purchase will always be a priority, right? So no matter what, as you mentioned before, people are still selling and buying. Purchase loans, top priority. Closing within 21, just close one in 20 days. Amazing through COVID, right? So with the foreclosure part, it's going to be interesting because we had 6.6 million unemployment claims. That was the record that was provided to us yesterday. So it's going to get better before it gets worse, right? Those two mountains that I talked about, you have this bridge, right? And we're all crossing this bridge. You guys are here, so you guys have like a tow truck or something. You guys are like plowing down, building that bridge, where there's some people in a little Pinto trying to make it up the hill, right? So financially, there's a lot of people who live check by check. We do have the working poor, right? That they barely make it enough, hopefully, to make it through the next paycheck. So you have a different variety of things. And then you have the care package that's coming out, right? So I think April 9th is supposedly the first release of some checks. And for some families, $1,200 may not seem a lot for some, but it could be a lot for others, right? And so hopefully that gives those families that relief. But the rest of the individuals, right, this can also now become an opportunity for others. Although we don't want to take advantage of the situation, but if you look at the stock market, are you going to sell or are you going to buy? Are you waiting for it to hit rock bottom and then go in and do what you got to do, right? And the same thing pertains to real estate. The difference is, and I'll let you guys finish up on that. When we had a market in 2008, 2009, we had a strong market then. We have a strong market now. So I'm going to ask you, what's the difference between the two markets, considering now and then? Anybody want to take that first?
I'll input a little bit into that. It brings up a question that a lot of my clients are asking, right? Is this a 2008 all over again? And I think it was, just by reading up and seeing how it was. I wasn't in real estate in 2008, but just by reading up on it, I think during the previous housing crash, the government was slow to recognize the challenges of homeowners were having and just waited way too long for to grant relief. And today, like we've seen it, how quickly the government has taken action. And since then, I think there's safety nets that have been put in place so we don't repeat 2008. So I think that's one thing to keep in mind where, you know, people are saying like, oh man, I'm just going to buy a house when I start seeing those foreclosures. I'm like, no, like it's going to be very different than 2008. And I'm saying if you have the buying power right now, if you're pre-approved, buy now. So that's what I'm telling my clients. And you know, I think it's like I said, it's important to keep the conversation going to provide value for them and still keep sending them properties because the homes still keep coming to on the market. I think that's important.
Okay, Debbie or Patricia?
Yeah, so I was doing real estate in 2008. And I became a certified short sale expert because many of my clients and new clients were all struggling with the crash of the market. But the real difference is people lived off of their equity back then. And after that, they don't live off their equity anymore. So like you had stated earlier, Kathy, many people who own a home today who are looking to sell have a substantial amount of equity in their home. So they're not going to allow their property to foreclose. So we are not in that same kind of market. And there are plenty of sellers because of the steps that were taken. So we didn't repeat the same mistakes. Remember, that was about bad loans. That was about putting people and qualifying them into properties they couldn't afford. Okay, negative amortization where their actual payments tripled, doubled. We aren't going to have that in this market. Okay, and I'm going to have to say, if you are able to buy, it's a fabulous time to buy. The interest rates are so great right now, and it is a superb time if you're looking to get into the market, because if those interest rates go up as we get past this COVID-19, and we will, because we are survivors and we are going to make this happen. And I think it's going to be a lot sooner than most people are thinking. So we don't need to live in fear. We just need to be prepared and educated so that we make the right decisions and be willing to move on it at the right time. So if you're not sure, don't just wait. Get ready. And then when that time is there, pull the trigger and you'll be ready to jump right into it. Get pre-approved and have that loan waiting for you. So when the right property, the right time, and the right circumstances, which could be a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, or a month, you're ready to pull the trigger and close in 20 days because Kathy can do that.
You got it.
I totally agree with you, Debbie. I remember 2008 very well. I remember there being a lot of homes on the market. That was a buyer's market. It was amazing. Now it's different from now, where our inventory is low and the prices are soaring. We have a seller's market. So it's all about your perspective as to whether the market is good or not.
Jason?
Yeah. Oh, and I did just close on some land last week too. So got the builder. It was right when this was starting, and I thought maybe he might want to not close on it, but they bought it for cash. So, and I saw they already put a sign up and they're digging soil. So I guess he's going to feel confident enough with his product to sell it. And I guess the one thing I do a lot with rentals, and I own a fourplex and a commercial strip mall. And one of the tenants who was going to move in, they asked, because they can't move their business in now, I just signed a lease with them. I let them, the payment they gave me, I guess I let them to apply it on May 1st. And then I have other rentals. My rents are starting to come in, but usually by the 5th is what I have to pay the rent. So I'll see next Monday or Tuesday. I haven't had any tenants call me, but we do have a form that if they don't pay the full amount, you can fill out the form, and like you were saying, it specifically says it's not a forbearance, or you still have to pay it. And then in the city of San Diego, they have a eviction moratorium until May 31st at the very earliest is when it would be removed. And so the rental I have now, we had started an eviction before this, so I think that eviction can still go through, although the eviction courts are closed. So I guess being that I have rentals, it'll be interesting this month to see if tenants are paying or what happens these next couple of weeks. So.
Right. So We are at 30 minutes. We've done a fantastic job, and I think I want each of you just to say what takeaway you want to give to whatever individuals that will be listening to this, because the goal for this was to have a communication and let everybody know that real estate is alive and well, and you guys are essential services. Anybody want to add to that?
I just want to say you're right, Kathy. Real estate is alive and well, and we're working through it. Technology is our best friend right now, and I think right now, each and every one of us in our house, we can always do a little bit more when it comes to video. And if we've learned anything from the past, is that in moments of crisis, I mean, it always presents opportunities, and I think we're going to come out of this even stronger. I think all of us, we love a comeback story, and humanity always wins. So I have a positive attitude towards everything that's happening.
Debbie?
Yeah, well said, well said. Yeah, me too. I'm very optimistic, and there are so many opportunities right now for both, you know, the real estate community and others. And I have to say, I'm actually proud of how we have all come together as a nation. Just seeing how this has affected the entire world, and seeing people take sensitivity and doing things outside of their norm. Even the video stuff, a lot of the older people don't know how to do this type of communication, but people are coming alongside, helping them and showing them how to do their FaceTime. So like mine is Glamma babysitting virtually, so I can sit with the grandkids virtually while my kids get a chance to work. We're just adapting in professional and in personal, but we can't forget the personal. We're out there taking risks just like everybody else, because we understand the value of our economy, and real estate is at the center of the economy, and it's why it was considered an essential service. So we want you to know we're here for you. We are educated. We're here to walk you through the steps. Do not be afraid. We are taking every precaution that we can, and we're gonna get through this together.
Patricia?
And I'm very proud of our government for recognizing that we are important in this industry. We are the essential service, and that we will always take into consideration what the needs of our clients are. And we will step forward and make sure we solve all problems.
Jason?
Yeah, well, real estate's going to keep going on. Yeah, people need a place to live and work. So yeah, it's going to be here. Maybe we have a little ramp up period here. I mean, well, actually, like you said, we've been going like gangbusters. It's going pretty fast, but yeah, I think we're adapting very quickly. And
Well, wonderful.
So.
Well, I just want to thank you all for your time. Again, our hearts go out to families who are directly affected with COVID-19 financially and health-wise. Stay safe. And again, thank you all. Appreciate all of you. Thank you.
Thanks, Kathy, for hosting this. We appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.